I'm going to San Francisco and Raleigh next month, and then in July, I'm going to upstate New York and Virginia. Please, for the love of God, get on my text list, you piece of shit. I'm sorry, that was rude. But I think you might like it. I don't know. And guys, as you may have heard, the Patreon really is astronomical compared to ads. You know, we don't do as well with ads because of the nature and the content of the podcast. So supporting our Patreon, even for just $1 a month, is so helpful. Patreon.com/WHGS. You get lots of bonus content. It's definitely worth it. And $1 a month is very affordable, I think. And if you can't, then just give us a follow. Give us a follow. That's always very helpful. Okay, and then this week, listener, this is a great episode with one of my dear friends and an amazing comedian. You've seen her on Comedy Central, Irene Tu. A lot of you have been requesting her. She has an album out right now that you can go and buy on iTunes. Go check it out. It's called We're Done Now. Great stuff. You're going to love her. And she gets really vulnerable on this episode. We talk about dry spells. We talk about a 5-year dry spell. So if you're in the middle of a dry spell, don't worry. We've got content for you specifically to help you out of it, or stay in it if that's where you want to be. I think you'll enjoy this one, listeners. I really had a lot of fun.
No, I haven't had gay sex since, guess what year?
2017?
Bingo.
Irene, what? You could anybody.
I don't, it's a choice.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's a choice. I'm voluntarily celibate.
Volcel.
It's a thing. Well, that's not a thing, but
I'm blown away by your commitment to it.
oh yeah, it's
You're strong.
Yeah, no, this is a bit that I'm doing.
It's a bit.
No. Is the video like you watch this on YouTube as well?
Yeah.
Clips?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the whole time. Got it.
I totally forget that, and I end up like in this.
That's
position.
what I'm at. That's
you
why I
in
was asking.
particular.
Yeah,
I'm
bad about
I didn't want to
it.
do weird leg stuff.
No,
That's why I asked.
we welcome weird leg stuff
I
on
didn't
the
want to
podcast.
be rude and like put my legs up like all over as if I live here. You
I
know?
know.
I
that
absolutely
is
do that
why-
every single episode.
Yeah, you've had your foot on my throat.
I have.
And it's fine. It needs a bath anyway. So you know what? I'm going to wash it after this. You put your foot up
No,
on
my
here.
shoes are like really dirty today.
Especially dirty.
Especially dirty.
As a New Yorker, I want to know why you know that your shoes are especially dirty.
I mean, they
I
look
went-
dirty.
I went into nature and I sunk in mud.
That's not as bad as... I would rather have mud than whatever's on the
Sidewalk.
subway. Yeah, sidewalk. Yeah.
Fair.
But you were in San Francisco killing it from San Francisco.
Thank
You
you.
opened for some of the biggest comedians, and now you've got your album out now.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, Comedy Central.
I did do Comedy Central.
Yeah, you're doing a lot of stuff, and you were doing so much of it from San Francisco. I was blown away
I appreciate
by
that.
your ability to do that.
Was it by choice or was it? Yeah, it was partially. I feel like I never fit into any kind of comedy clique. You know, 'cause
Really?
there's always little cliques, right? And I never fully feel like I fit in anywhere. I just feel like I have to do my own thing.
That so resonates with me
Yeah.
because I don't fit in anywhere either, and I feel so lonely about it. I'm just completely isolating Kate right now. My dearest friend.
This is a new
I
clique
feel
now.
so lonely.
I have no friends in comedy whatsoever.
I run a podcast with one person, but we're not friends.
No, we're brothers. We're
Oh, yeah.
brothers.
So that's different.
It's different.
Brothers is not friends.
No, absolutely. You're right. I'm kidding around. I like Kate. They're okay.
Thanks.
Well, I'm glad you're here. We have Irene Tu today on
Indeed.
the podcast, and we're going to do something. Yeah, that's applause.
Thank you. Please sit down.
I was talking with Alex earlier about the solar flare, which may or may not be making it hot
What is
in
a
here.
solar flare?
So Alex explained to me that the sun, one of the sun's hot spots,
Goes like.
it does now and then. That's a technical term.
So obviously that has nothing to do with what's happening on Earth. But my question is, because we have less ozone, does it have more of an effect?
Probably.
Oh, probably.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's hot.
I feel like
None of us are scientists, but we're like, that sounds
Well,
right.
I feel like I've been getting sunburned quicker.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die.
That's not good.
But my question to Alex was, apparently at any point we were talking about the sun could just incinerate the earth. It could have like a burp basically that just like incinerates earth. And I have no fear of earth getting incinerated as long as everybody gets incinerated. Because if some people get incinerated and I'm one of those people and other people aren't getting a sentence. You see what I'm saying? It's like a FOMO issue.
Well, what would you rather be?
I would rather like
survive it
and try to rebuild life.
Oh, so you're like, when shit goes down,
Yeah.
you want to like not be the first to go.
Yeah.
I'm just
But
imagining
some people feel
you
that
going
they-
up to different women and being like, come on, babe, we got to repopulate the earth. And then being like, actually, that doesn't work for
That's
you.
homophobic. That's homophobic. Why can't a lesbian repopulate the earth as well as a man?
That's true.
You can, but it has to be with a man.
I would want to repopulate. Some people feel that they would want to go down with the ship. You know?
Oh, yeah, no, I'm on your side. I wanna try and save the sinking ship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're really thinking about it?
I'm really thinking about it because if it's like,
I don't want to go to Mars. I will make that clear. I don't want to go on a spaceship.
No. No one's going to Mars.
I don't want it. My thing is like this. I don't know the science, but if Earth is here and the sun side of the Earth gets blasted and the dark side of the Earth is alive, I don't think I would want to survive that one because to me, enough of the world is left that the systems that exist will continue the same way that they've continued through COVID. And I think my brain would break. For half of the world to have been burned alive and for nothing to change would make me want to kill myself.
For you, it's about activism.
No, it's just, like didn't it break your brain when like the pandemic happened and then nothing changed? Like it broke my brain
super
and
sad,
like a little
but-
bit of my heart. Like I was like, what am I doing? The existential nature of it was hard enough with like the small millions of people that have died that I don't know how I would do it if it was like literally half of the billions. You know what I mean? But if there was only like 1 million people left, I'd be like, yeah, I'll do the apocalypse thing. I'll do it.
Okay.
If it's really nothing, like the world as it exists cannot continue, but we need to start again, I'll
That's
volunteer.
funny that for you, the larger the apocalyptic event,
The more you
The
want to be
more I want to
alive.
survive.
Yeah,
It's
that's
true.
weird to me. Because that means life is completely different. You're like, yeah. I
Yeah.
want to not know what's going on at all.
you're so committed to social change. You're like, yeah, wipe out 6 billion of us.
Yeah, let's start all the way over. I'm like, no, I want to live life as it is now.
Will Bernie get elected if they wipe out the 6 billion? Because if Bernie gets
And
elected,
can you imagine him surviving? Only 1 million people survive, and one of them is Bernie fucking Sanders.
what an
only got, like,
annoying
2 years
what
left.
an annoying guy at the campfire. We all need healthcare, and everyone's like, "Shut up, dude." That my Bernie's not that great, I will admit.
Yeah, but we got it.
I
got it.
appreciate
got
that. Well, I feel like we're warmed up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm definitely physically warm.
Yeah, it's hot in here.
It's
sweating
so
a little
hot.
bit. From the solar flare. I
Yeah,
apologize.
not because of your apartment itself.
From the solar flare.
I had the windows open before you know what I didn't do?
Oh.
I should have
You
been
let it in. You let in the
I
solar
let in the
flare.
solar flare.
Yeah.
By the way, there is a high amount of radiation in here. But I didn't
What?
turn on the
From
joking.
what?
The solar
Oh,
flare.
I
It's a
believed
bit.
you.
It's a
You were so deadpan about it. I was like,
I mean, I
just
knew,
assumed.
I knew what the joke.
I really thought you were
and you're
serious.
my
like,
own brother. Didn't even fucking know.
I bought it. My brain's in apocalypse land, so I really bought it.
I do worry about the apocalypse. I think about where I would put a bunker all the time. Regularly, I think about my bunker.
Where would your bunker be?
Michigan.
Okay.
Huh.
Yeah.
So you would travel from here to Michigan to your bunker. When shit goes down, you're like, hang on, let me take a flight real quick to my bunker.
It's drivable.
Okay.
I know the gas issue. I'd have to stock up on gas
Yes.
to
Yeah,
get
well,
there.
and the traffic issue.
The traffic issue,
Yeah.
I feel
Every
that my
apocalypse
SUV.
film, just a bunch of empty cars, all
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
you know.
That's why I'm saying Michigan's far.
Maybe I should do upstate New York.
Yeah, that's
Basically,
much
you want
closer.
something north and with access to fresh water, the lakes,
Yeah.
but not that you're gonna get wiped out by like a flooding event.
Yeah, I think I could go upstate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys know if there's room in my bunker.
Yeah, let me fly from Los Angeles.
You are fucked. You are fucked.
Every day my mom's like, there's going to be a big one. She like hates that we live in California now. I'm like, because I'm from Chicago. I'm like,
Oh,
you
are
could
you?
have stayed. And then she's
Oh.
like, no, I got to live closer to you. But she's like, there's going to be a big
Oh.
one. And I'm like,
Nah, honey, I gotta follow you, but there's gonna be a big one.
What brought you to San Francisco originally then for comedy?
It wasn't for comedy per se. I just always wanted to live in California. I was like, I know I'm supposed to live in California. Got there, I was like, this is it. Love it. I went to school also.
Yeah,
in
yeah.
California.
Nice.
Yeah.
I don't know. I love I'm a born and raised New Yorker. I don't know that I'll ever leave. I love it here.
Some people just like are like, I love New York, and I'm just like hate it. Every time I'm here, I'm like,
there is
comedy here is great.
Killer.
Yeah.
Like the best stand up. Like
Yeah.
I'll see people, I'm like, man, like everyone's here's like such a good stand up. Even
Yeah.
the bad ones
Yes. Even
Like-
our bad ones
are good.
are good. Yeah.
and
They've
I'm
been
like,
beaten into
damn.
being good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like even if you're bad, like you get good pretty quick here
Yeah.
because you have to.
Yeah.
And we don't really have that, on the West Coast. 'Cause
No.
we got happiness.
Yeah.
So it's like, why
You
try?
can go hiking.
Yeah.
There's always something that you could be doing. Whereas in New York, you got to be venting.
Yeah.
There's always something to vent about.
know.
Maybe that's why we're good. It's
Yeah.
got nothing to do with like the
It's
culture.
just so
It's
much to
just
talk
So
about.
much shit on your
Yeah,
mind.
yeah.
I will say I have felt a little worn down by New York City of late.
If you move to California,
I
you will
won't.
not be invited to my bunker.
I'm tied to New York, baby. I'm here to stay.
Yeah, you've got a house.
Yeah. And
All
I
right.
love the comedy scene.
Yeah.
That's why I'm here.
But you guys would also be thriving in LA.
We'd be booked all the time.
100%. And I feel like you guys would kill like with all the queers.
That's so nice.
Oh, okay. I was like, did I, say
was like,
something wrong?
"Excuse me?"
I was like,
That was a compliment.
And you really
I was like,
internalized
what did
it.
I say? I was like, did I say something offensive? I
That's
didn't
so
know.
nice. But the queers in LA,
I was
they're
like,
hot.
Did
They're
Irene
hot,
just out
dude.
Ashley?
They're so hot. They have their hats. You know the hats.
You're wearing a hat right
No,
now.
different vibe.
Like they're wearing their
You know what I'm talking about? They have like
The flat brim.
they have like big expensive
Sure.
hats. Suede.
That-
I don't know
that's
what they're
true.
made
Like
of.
That's
church
true.
hats? What are we talking about?
They wear
church
those they
hats.
wear those hats that people wear to the Baptist church for Easter. No,
No, the like lesbian hats.
the lesbian hats.
The flat brim.
Yes, they're not flat brim baseball caps.
like
What are
cool.
they?
Like
All
like
the
if
way-
a cowboy hat was like gay and cool.
Yeah, I don't. They have a special name.
Oh.
I don't know what
Alex,
they're
quickly
called.
find
Like
out what the lesbian hat is.
The Christian Girl Autumn hat?
Yes, it
But
is
gay?
but gay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just have never been there. So I
Yeah.
don't know.
No, there's a lot of them.
There is a lot of that. Yeah.
My
yes, that's
doppelganger,
true.
this girl that I used to date, dates a girl who looks just like me. She's got a photo.
Oh, I
op-
thought you said you dated someone who looks just like you, and I was like, wow, okay.
No. This girl has no
Ashley's
idea.
like, no, but I would love to.
No, I would never. I would hate
I
that.
know, I'm
Here. She's got it in her profile picture. I can't say the name of this person.
Yeah, we
but
can't show you.
Yeah.
But, just Google it.
Just Google it. Big lesbian hat.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in the apartment. We're having gay sex. We're having gay sex with a great comedian today. I have the fear of
Now
God.
I know it. We're done now.
Yes, that is the name of my
We're
album.
done now.
Yeah, we're done now.
I have the yips from
me fucking
you
it up,
fucking it up, and
hosting,
you.
And then
Kate has never wanted to die more.
Oh, when you
in
fucked
his
up the name of
entire
my
life.
album?
I wanted to die so
He
bad.
got off stage and was like, "I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna eject myself into a solar flare."
Yeah, because I did your show, and then you were like, "What's the name of the album?" I was like, "It's called We're Done Now." But I think I also said, "Don't worry if you fuck it up," because people have been doing it a
Yes.
lot. I don't know why. I think it's just like people tend to like
Three short words.
and they're like, "Oh, it's like a phrase that's similar to this phrase," and then they'll
Yeah.
just forget. And it's fine. I truly don't care because I'm like, I'll just tell you the name when I go. up on
Right.
stage. But then
And also
you were
no-
like, no, I got it, and then you fucked it up. I was
Truly,
like, nope, I knew it.
People are gonna remember your name before they remember the name of the album.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, which
Yeah.
is fine.
Yeah, but
yeah.
No
know.
one can say this right on stage to the point where I tell people not to say it.
Yeah.
Because guys bringing me up on stage will be like, she's the host of this very popular podcast. Let lesbians have sex. I'm not gay. Give it up for Ashley Gaffett. They literally cannot utter these words. They cannot do it.
I feel like if I would say I'm having gay sex. Like that's what if you were like, oh, what's Ashley's podcast called? I'd be like, oh, it's called I'm having gay sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people fuck it up all the time.
I've got we're gay having sex, which is technically still right.
Someone said lesbians have sex one
well,
time.
and then there was like somebody
like,
thought it was
true.
somebody thought it was two lesbians fucking or something.
Two lesbians fucking. And they thought it was about us fucking.
Fucking.
And this has
I
been
mean-
because we're trying to do a rebrand, and that has been plaguing my mind since we brought up the idea of the rebrand, because I was like, if we have our faces on this, people are going to think we're fucking, and they're not going to understand what this podcast is. So now
Like, oh, it's like a weird OnlyFans.
it's audio only fans. Well, anyway, Irene, thank you for being here. Go download, buy the album,
Please.
stream the
handles.
Comedy Central set. What are your handles? Where can people find you?
It's at Irene_2. That's TU on Instagram and Twitter. I just started posting on TikTok, which is
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Irene Tu Comedy.
That's great.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I'm on tour and stuff, so you can go to my website, irene2.com, to see me live and buy my album.
Yes, go do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you don't see your city, sign up for Irene's mailing list or follow
Yes,
Irene.
which is also on my website. Yeah,
because she'll be there eventually.
it's true.
Anyway, there's like a subtext to this about other comedians that you might enjoy. I'm Ashley Gavin. I'm a cis gay white woman. She, her pronouns. You play any sports growing up?
Oh, yeah.
What sports?
I played basketball
Uh-huh.
and then anything else that would keep me in shape to play basketball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I also did some soccer, which I didn't like. I ran cross country, did a little track and field.
Cross country.
But I love basketball.
Did you do any field events?
No. Do I look like I could do any field events? I can't throw a
When I-
discus.
In middle
Or a
school,
shot
I
put.
did track and field, and it was required that you did a field event.
What was your field
Whoa.
event? Shot put?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it's got to be shot put. You look like you could throw the fuck out of a rock.
I was pretty good at it.
I made a ball joke yesterday. And what's the name of the shot put?
I think
The
it's called a
shot?
shot put.
But-
Or a shot.
I don't know. Right? I don't know. I guess
I'm trying to
I was
come
in
up
middle
with like
school, I don't know.
Did you spin and everything? Did you like?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You're supposed to like, you like step back and you like spin and throw it or something.
Yeah. Your whole thing has to happen inside the circle, so you can't like run and.
inside the circle.
Yeah.
My cancel coach to keep me from getting canceled. I don't have a sports pun today.
What about putting a shot of testosterone in my?
Ah,
I mean, I'm not, but it's a good pun.
that's a great pun. You just nailed it. You nailed it for me. Thank you for doing my job. Kate Sisk.
Hey, everybody, it's me, Kate Sis, the cancel coach, the fat in the chat. I'm a white bisexual lesbian dyke. She, he, they, pronouns. My gender of the week, as submitted by the listeners.
This is what I wanted to say.
What?
I saw someone boxing today
Yeah.
at a ball that appeared to be floating. And I thought, how is that ball floating? Like, where is the string? I can't see the string. Also the queerest person you've ever seen in your life. And you'll know why they're the queerest person in a second. I'm thinking, is the string holding the ball between the gloves?
Yeah.
Where is it attached? As I move, I get a new angle on them. I see that the ball is attached to their head from the
What?
string. They're
What?
punching a ball on an elastic string
That's
attached
gonna
from
come
their
back
head,
at their head if
and
they
it comes
miss?
back at them and they punch it. Yes, and I thought that's Kate's gender. It was the queerest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Literally a pair of balls flying at your face and you're punching it to get it away from you. I don't know. Just felt like you.
That's
but anyway.
so funny. What a device. What an interesting sports
I
equipment.
need to see this because I still can't imagine.
I
it.
just out at the seaport.
I imagine, it's like the little paddle.
It's like a headband
Oh,
with a
headband,
string.
okay.
That's crazy.
So
Yes,
weird.
like that. A human
really
paddle
yeah.
ball of
Yeah,
some
human
kind.
paddle ball.
That's wild.
My gender of the week, as submitted by the listeners, is the film Superbad. And this person said
That's great.
the entire film Superbad, which I did like, and I do like.
Who?
But we know that it's Jonah Hill, right? It's
Yes.
it's pretty clearly.
Yes,
Jonah.
yeah.
Yeah.
I could see you having that career too. Starting in comedy and then becoming a full-fledged dramatic actor. And the people who know will be like, had the talent all along. This is what he was born to do. Anyway, do you mind introducing yourself and your pronouns?
Yes, I'm Irene Tu. I refuse to tell people my pronouns because I think it's more fun for me that way. Because you know what it is? I don't really care. When people like fuck it up, like it really doesn't matter to me that much. Like I get sirred a lot, which I don't think I'm a sir because I'm not like 45. But it's just like fun for me, and it's like it happened my whole life, so I'm like I don't really care.
Yeah.
I guess if I had to pick, I still feel like I'm like a she her, but truly like does not matter. I don't care. But it's fascinating to me that I'll get nice Instagram comments from like strangers on videos, like of my stand-up clips or whatever. And it'll be like probably like an older like white guy in the Midwest or something.
Oh,
that's
yes,
like,
I can't wait.
oh, she's like so funny or whatever.
Yeah.
And then someone in the comments will be like, excuse me, they. And then I'm like,
No, it's she.
yeah, and I'm like, well, first of all, I've never said anything publicly about it because I don't
Yeah,
care. And I'm
right.
like, leave this man alone. Like, I don't need you to defend me when I've also said nothing about it. Also,
Unreal.
he's technically right.
Unreal.
I've conversed with people who go by she, they, and have asked me to call them she,
Yeah.
call her she, and people will call me on it. They'll be like, Ashley, this person's bio says she, they, so make sure you use she and they equally. And it's like, you don't actually know.
You don't
Right.
know. Unless I said, this is what I want, and you
Right.
know this.
Right.
Like, stop.
I get
Yeah.
they sometimes too, which is
which is fine.
hilarious to me. And honestly, there's a part of me that's like, no, I like my pronouns.
Yeah.
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 That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, I get they all the time, I think, just because from the hair and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
So I'm like, sure, fine, whatever. I just personally don't use it because I'm just not, like, used to it or whatever, and I'll use whatever pronouns
Yeah.
other people want. But people, they me a lot, and I'm like, or they just don't know what my pronouns are, so
They'll
they'll
be
defer
cautious.
to they because
Yeah.
it's
Which is
gender
a-
neutral.
Which is such an
fine.
interesting point
Yeah.
of view. Some comedian said something. Was it you? That's like they is the default for like
You would
when
never
you-
they a cis man
Yeah, you
that
would never-
looked very
you would
like,
never they a
male.
woman having her bachelorette party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd never be like
Or-
Shannon
or
is
a bro.
it they? Yeah,
it's
right.
either like if it's a really femmy looking girl, you would never they.
Yeah.
Or like
Right.
just like a jacked up dude, you wouldn't they him
Honestly,
either.
people should go around calling jacked up dudes they though.
Yeah.
I would love to see the outcome
Yeah,
of that
just
at
see
the
the reaction.
CrossFit
They're
gym.
like, oh God. Am I putting out a gay energy?
Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We're gonna get into it.
Indeed.
Gay sex. I'm giving you some so we're gonna go me and then you and
Great.
then Kate.
Great.
And I'm gonna give you some options because Kate wanted me to do something today.
No.
Yep.
I'm not. If you don't think that you can get through it,
Look at you uncanceling yourself.
if you don't think
navigating
you
this
can get
situation.
through it without, I said, well, why don't you talk about this? And then you imagined a way that it was going, and I said, maybe better not.
What's happening?
Okay. There is here, I'll give you two options.
Okay.
First option is about whether or not I can ask someone that I had a brief relationship with, what can and can't you ask of that person years later?
Okay.
The second one is changing room at a
Oh.
story.
Uh-huh.
Not as
Okay.
exciting as it sounds.
Okay.
And number 3 is that I had a little teeny tiny baby relationship, not even relationship, thing happening that the listeners were really excited about because they knew this person. This person was
Oh.
on the podcast.
Oh.
If I'm going to talk about it, I have to remain diplomatic, but you can act however you want.
I feel like we have to go with 3.
Great. So,
Is it a comic?
no,
Oh,
but
that's less exciting for me. But okay.
it's a person,
That I would know?
maybe. They have a big queer following on social media
Okay. So I may or may not know.
and in this space of like relationships and stuff like that. Could be, you've probably seen some memes that this person has made come up in your feed.
Maybe. My feed's very boring, so
Okay.
I don't know. May not know.
So basically what had happened is we had this very professional relationship. We were about to go on a date, but she was in an open relationship. She closed her relationship the day of our date, or like the day before our date. And then it was like this weird queer longing.
Oh, my favorite.
You like queer longing?
I think I've been in so many queer longings that those count as relationships to me in my mind.
Yeah.
And there was you both definitely respected the boundaries at hand, but flirting was allowed.
flirting was allowed.
Okay.
And so the listeners have seen the flirting occur.
They've seen the flirting.
Wow. Okay.
They enjoyed it.
Okay.
Some of them cringed at it. It was a very mixed bag.
Okay.
It was intense.
Okay.
I really liked her. I had sensed some things about her that I was like, is this going to work out? I hope it does. And I was willing to ignore some of my like feelings about which way is this going to go, because I was so attracted to her whole personality and her life. Honestly, she was so successful. You know, I really admired her as like a person.
Well, you always like people who are good at what they do and care about what they do.
Yes.
Which she does.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So then finally she breaks up with her partner, texts me almost immediately. It's like, my relationship's over. Seems super excited to get in touch with me. And I was like, can we take it slow? Because I'm terrified. I've been like thinking about this for months and queer longing.
Again, love it.
Yeah.
Obsessed.
Right.
You were like, wait, more longing.
Yeah,
please.
more longing. Actually, can you draw out the longing?
Honestly,
I don't want to hear about when you get together.
I absolutely can draw out the longing for you. So this happens during Omicron.
Oh,
More longing.
longing.
Right.
Just
Gets
so
postponed
much
because
longing.
of COVID.
She has a trip, so like she has to quarantine. She's going on the trip. More longing. I mean, all the longing in the entire world. So much longing. Finally, the day comes for our first date, and we decide not to do anything physical because the longing was just so powerful.
Okay, yes.
The longing is powerful.
Again, obsessed.
To the point where I was so nervous when I met her, and I think she was feeling more confident. And then finally, and we talk about this on an episode, finally I just blurted out, "Can I kiss you?" in the middle of it. And she was like, "Okay, now I'm nervous." So we just really intensely spooned while watching a movie.
Wow, this is the gayest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very.
Yeah. And then more longing, I'm going on tour for a few days. She's like sorting out her breakup situation. Not that they're together, but sorting out they live together and complications.
Yes. Sure, very gay.
More longing. And so I'm hearing from her a little less, but I'm not sweating it because
Okay.
she's my friend. I'm not super worried about it. Then I was
surprised.
I may have been tagged in a post
Okay.
by a listener.
Oh, no.
The tag read, "Anyone check in on Ashley yet?"
Okay.
The post was a relationship reveal.
Oh, no.
And
God.
you know, if we're speaking about how lesbian and queer these things have been, the longing was extremely queer, and the relationship reveal was equally queer.
There were
whatever intensity was in the longing
Wow.
that you had with this person, that intensity was also
I
present.
feel that
in
we
the
should
relationship
show. I
reveal.
feel that we should.
No.
Well, I need to see this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
We don't need to show them.
No, they don't need to know.
They don't
Yes.
need to stop
Irene needs
tagging
to
Ashley
see.
and stuff. Okay?
What a way.
Don't tag Ashley and stuff. Don't do that. How dare you?
What a public
Oh
way.
my God.
I just showed Irene.
Not what I thought it was going to be. What the fuck? No.
It's quite a surprise.
But you didn't know anything about that.
Nothing.
No.
So I think one of the wait. Yeah.
I'm not reading this out
That's
loud.
the full
I'm
count.
not
No,
reading it out loud.
Not
No.
out loud. Just
But maybe
internally.
as you get through it, you can.
Why
add
are
your-
there multiple paragraphs? Within the first 5 words.
So this
What?
So
I read the first sentence and I'm already shook, as the kids would say.
I
So-
was also shook. I believe the commenter
one
was
of
shook.
the funniest parts about this story to me, because again, no one's done anything wrong.
No one has done anything wrong.
No,
What is
but
funny about this is how surprised and taken off guard you were.
I was
to one, be tagged publicly by a third party who you don't know
Yes.
is
Which
extremely
again,
funny.
please don't do
Yeah,
that. Don't do that. Who are you? Why would you do that?
Listener, you could have DM'd me.
Please DM. No, don't publicly tag Ashley.
Next time, like when someone this weekend wins like a Grammy, I'm gonna like comment on it and be like,
Hey, Ashley, you okay?
People are just tagging me in random, like, other people's accomplishments and relationships.
that'd be really fun.
Ashley, you all right?
So what's funny is you're disoriented because you find out about it through a tag. You know nothing about the situation.
Nothing.
And then the intensity of the relationship reveal is so much so that you, as a comedian, think that it's a joke.
Oh, yes, that's...
I mean, yeah, reading this whole thing, I was like, is this like... here, I just read the last paragraph, which is also insane.
So
it seems... It's
Just to be clear,
almost-
I'm not saying it.
We're not saying anything. So.
Well, you are, but I'm not.
Oh, you're not. Okay.
And that is the critical distinction that I
Yeah.
would like to draw here.
Ashley said nothing, and I'm not revealing the contents of it. I'm just reading each paragraph. I'm like, oh, this is satire, right? Like, this is like what someone's like, oh, I mean, like lesbians, you know, like this is this is what they say when they're like in love. Like, it doesn't seem real.
It feels so heightened. And so Ashley thinks that it's satire or a joke.
Or like,
and Ashley also has no real impulse control. So she
I have zero impulse control.
immediately messages
Irene,
this
if there's one
person.
thing you need to know about me, I cannot keep a thought in my brain.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Ashley texts
So
this
it makes me a
person
great...
Oh no.
Yeah.
and goes,
Great comic.
ha ha ha, funny bit.
That's 100% true.
You texted this person, ha ha ha, funny bit.
I wrote, LOL, is this a bit or are you seriously seeing someone? And when I say seriously seeing someone, I don't mean like, are you seriously seeing someone? I mean like, are
Is
you
this a serious
engaged in a
relationship?
serious
Yeah,
relationship?
yeah, of course.
And then all this happened, to be fair, all this happened like I was walking outside. Like I did not expect, I saw the tag come up in my notifications. So I just like opened it to see what it was or whatever. Yeah. And then I nearly got hit by a bike because I was in such shock that I actually stopped walking in the bike lane.
Which is understandable.
Right. And so when I texted her that, I didn't mean any ill will by it. And I think that was my first mistake before publishing this podcast. That was mistake number 1. This is mistake number 2. But I want to be clear. Like I was just saying to Kate before this, like I would love to have her back.
Yeah, she's great.
I think she's so good at what she does.
like her.
I wonderful human being. I think my only thing, and I would say this to her, and I think she already knows, is I wish I had a heads up. So
Yeah.
Your first heads up with the guy in the bike lane being like, bike lane,
and I'm like, queer longing, get out of the way. Don't you know that I'm gay? Can't you see?
Can't you see that my heart is being thrashed so badly that I think it's fake and
I
a joke?
honestly didn't even I didn't even feel that bad because at that
That's
point
good,
there
that's
was
good.
so much longing that it was starting to fizzle.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I would have been happy either way. I would have loved to have gone on more dates
Yeah.
with her. I also was like totally happy to see her so in love.
Yeah.
Sure.
So like
It's nice. It's nice when people are in love.
yeah, I truly was not hurt, and I don't want anyone to think that I was hurt. It was definitely I was shook. That's the only
Yeah.
other. It was like a completely neutral shake that I
Yes.
felt.
Yes.
And then I accidentally insulted her by saying LOL, is this a bit?
Yeah,
And-
well, that's pretty bad.
yeah,
if
and
it was
I
real.
think I hurt her feelings, and I am sorry. And then I followed up because I realized what I had done, and
Yeah.
I said, I'm so sorry. I just read it really quickly because I had gotten tagged, and just so you know, I'm really, truly very happy
Yeah.
for you. I wish that I had known, but I'm so happy for you, and I like look forward to being friends. Basically, is what I
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
So
And then what did she say?
I don't want to speak for her. Anyway, that's my queer longing. I hope you
Amen.
enjoyed it. Thank you for you fucking nailed that because I really couldn't. Both of you,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 would recommend to a friend.
I'm great at reacting to stuff. That's why I'm here.
Listener, don't forget to support the Patreon, patreon.com/WHGS. That's how we pay Alex. He is a full-time employee of the podcast. We could not pay him on ads alone. That's how we pay Kate. And of course, me also. This is full-time work. So please consider going and donating. And in return for those donations, you get bonus episodes. You get comped tickets when I'm in your city. You get extended, unfiltered, uncut episodes, weekly access to my Zoom stream of my show in New York, and lots of other stuff. Patreon.com/WHGS. Listener, do not miss me when I'm in your city. I know you miss my TikToks and my Instagram posts, and sometimes you skip podcast episodes. I'm only in town once a year, so let me text you once a year when I'm in town, or I can email you, ashleygavin.com. There's going to be 25 cities on this tour. Don't miss your city. Irene, did you have gay sex this week?
Is that how this podcast? No.
Yeah.
I haven't had gay sex since. Okay, so what do we consider sex?
Whatever
Well,
you consider
yeah.
sex.
So what would you consider sex?
Fingering.
Like I'm getting fingered, if I'm fingering someone else, kinda.
Is it above the pants? Over the pants. Above is the wrong.
Oh, I was like, what do you mean above the pants? You're fingering her boob?
Her nipple. Just
It's like,
really
that's not fingering.
orbiting her
I'm
nipple.
deep in that
I know.
belly button.
I, when you said that, I really was like, okay, which hole is she talking about? I was like, is this fingering now? What's happening? I was like, maybe I don't know what gay sex is anymore.
No one does.
You know what? No, I haven't had gay sex since.
It also depends on the fingering. Depends on how it feels.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. No, I haven't had gay sex since, guess what year?
No. 2019? More.
Oh.
Irene, what? You're
Mhm.
so hot.
Oh, thank you. That's very nice.
You could fuck anybody.
I don't, it's a choice.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's a choice. I'm voluntarily celibate.
Volcel.
It's a thing. Well, that's not a thing, but.
Well, yeah.
Okay, but guess what year? So you've been wrong.
Come on. It's 2022. Please don't tell me.
Have you been protesting the election of Donald Trump by not having sex?
No.
2017?
Bingo.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
All right.
How do you feel about it? This is so
Fine.
This is so great for some of our listeners for representation
Oh,
purposes.
okay. Yeah. I was like, for what reason?
They're all gonna try and fuck you. That's why. The amount of DMs that you are about to get.
Oh no. Well, that's the thing is, I don't like if someone slides into my DMs. It makes me feel uncomfortable.
Right. And I hope you don't feel any judgment from me. I'm
Oh
just
no,
surprised.
I also don't care because people, people are judgmental about it or whatever. I don't give a fuck.
I think I'm just surprised because you're very attractive, especially to a specific type, like your mask. You know what I mean?
Sure.
You're doing shows in San Francisco.
I live in LA now.
There are gay people in LA.
Yeah.
And you're fucking good at comedy. You're up there in your bomber jacket. You're getting off stage. The girls are making I'm just blown away by this. I'm blown away.
Yeah,
I'm blown away by your commitment to it.
Oh yeah. It's
You're strong.
Yeah, no, this is a bit.
You're
that I'm doing.
strong.
It's a bit.
No. Yeah, I'm not having sex as a bit. It's really funny to only me.
This is a callback to my childhood when I didn't fuck.
Yeah.
Now I'm not fucking as an adult. It's heightening.
Yeah.
I'm just building the tension. Wow, talk about queer longing. You really are committed to the queer longing bit.
Well, that's the thing is some people like to fuck different people or they are like interested in a lot of different people. That's not me.
Yeah.
I have like a small number of people where I'm like, oh, like I am really into you or whatever. And then I do the queer longing thing.
Yeah.
And that basically is sex for me.
The longing.
Yes, the longing part.
It is quite erotic.
It's super erotic,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I love longing.
Yeah. It's like the not having it is the most exciting.
Have you been is it okay to ask you questions
Sure.
about this?
I mean, we could always cut it out. If
Yes, we can cut it out. I just want to make sure there's no boundary. You never, with this particular topic, a lot of people have stuff that might be related to it. So I just want to make sure you're comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
But do you have you been in relationships? Are you waiting for gay marriage?
They passed it. No, I'm not like what Brad and Angelina where they're like, I'm not gonna get married till gay marriage is legal, and then they got married anyways. Whatever. Right? Anyways, no, it's not like I'm like saving myself for marriage or like whatever. Like I've been in relationships.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm opposed to having sex with somebody. It's just like I have not met somebody since like my last relationship where I was like, like we're gonna date or whatever, or there was like mutual. There was like there was like maybe two there were two, maybe three people where it was kind of like maybe like we went on a date or like there was a something, but then it didn't happen. So then I was like, okay, whatever.
And is it like a thing where like immediately with that person and you're just so selective, or are you like building something in the relationship that
I feel like generally I kind of know immediately if I want to like get to know someone and talk to them.
Yeah.
Because I'm very much an introvert and I don't like most people's vibes, like for like relationships, not like friend wise. And like I'll do small talk with people, sure, but for the most part,
I like that word.
oh, you're fine.
No, but
you guys are cool, by the way.
It's small talk, and then sex are the two, like the ultimate, like I'll talk to people. I just won't have sex with them.
No, well, there's like 3 categories of people. There's like, people you run into on the street or you work with. You're like, we make small talk. We have the same job, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
you talk about, who knows, comedy or whatever. And then there's like, like good friends of mine where I can complain to them or I, rarely, but cry or something.
Yeah.
And then there are like people that I like really want to get to know that I would like to be in a relationship with.
Yeah.
And it's just very rare that I have like that kind of person that I meet. Very rare.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm both similar and opposite in that I don't often want to have to hook up with people unless I like have that feeling of like a crush and wanting to get to know people.
Right.
But since I was a tween, have had nothing but crushes on people. It's not like, oh, I rarely find someone that I like have a crush on. It's like I always have crushes on someone, and usually they just don't like me back.
Like at all, or
I feel
just
that
as friends.
Well, I don't know, because it wouldn't always be like friends that I then developed crushes for, which has happened to me. But it's sometimes just like, oh, this person is like I kind of know from class or whatever, and they're like, oh, I have a crush on you. Do you want to go on a date? No. Thank you. Goodbye. We'll never talk again.
Yeah. I think that's also important representation, Kate. I do feel that there are a number of listeners who have a crush on someone and that person does not like them back.
Shout out my rejection kings and queens. We are here, we are strong, and our feelings do hurt.
For me, I was like you. Like, I really only wanted to have sex if I was like gonna fall in love with someone, and I felt that coming. And then after so many years of serial monogamy, I was like, you're bad at picking these people. And then I purposefully, the idea of having like random sex to me was so foreign, like truly, and I'm only bringing this up because I did such a 180. So foreign to me. I was like, okay, you're just gonna like have to you're just gonna have to get used to this, and maybe it can be fun. And like that's how my life has kind of been. Like, it was like just a total 180, and I could so see myself continuing the path that I was on. But it's just so fascinating. Like, you can do it either way, you know what I mean? And you can be fulfilled and having a great time.
I told a story on the Akeem episode, but I had a crush on this girl in college, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have a one night stand. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try it, even though it makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna have a one night stand, and now we've been together for like 8.5 years. Like, I fully both succeeded and failed.
That sounds nice.
It's been very nice, but we've also it's also been a relationship filled with longing because we were long distance for so many years. So it'd be
maybe you'd like that too.
Oh, the longing builds up for like a month, and then we see each other.
You don't want someone to slide into your DMs and then never meet you?
Okay, fair enough. Touche.
It's a possibility. You can let them.
If you live really far away and like never want to meet, actually slide.
We have
in
a
my
listener
DMs.
from Guam.
We've got some in Norway as well, I think.
So many, all over a listener from China, which I can't get the data from. If you look at the data,
they
from
blocked the
countries,
data?
That seems correct.
I can't see that anyone from China. But I was.
But someone messaged you.
But someone at Sunday school came up to me and was like, "You have a lot lot of listeners in China. Like, no matter what it says,
Oh,
like, people
exciting.
love
Because they have to like go around the firewall and stuff,
Yeah.
probably, and they don't like gay people there. So
it." No, I've heard that.
yeah.
I'm curious to know, like, with the person that you were last with, like, what your bar must be so high.
To like be in a relationship with someone or have sex with someone.
Well, either, because it feels like you kind of want both.
Yeah. I mean, I only really want to like have sex with someone if I want to date them or something. Like,
Yeah.
Because I feel like I just have a low sex drive unless I'm really into you.
Right.
So like I'm just like not horny most of the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm like walking. People are like, oh, I gotta masturbate all the time. I'm like, I literally never do. Like I just don't feel that at all. You know?
Yeah.
It's what did we learn? Responsive
desire. Oh yes, from a
What
from a certain
what does that mean?
From a certain
It
someone
means
who may have
that-
been on the podcast that we might
What
have
did
been
we
talking
learn?
about.
We learned spontaneous
Responsive and spontaneous.
desire and spontaneous. Spontaneous and responsive.
Spontaneous,
is like
you just fucking get a boner, just pops up
for no
at any
reason.
moment.
Yeah.
And then responsive is
You gotta
like when the
build up.
mood is right and you really like the person and you like
Yeah,
what
yeah,
you're doing and you had a good lunch or like whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
I mean, I do love to eat, so maybe if I have a good lunch, I could get a little horny.
That makes sense to me. Like yeah. Oh man, how do you reject women thoughtfully?
No one really. Well, I think like people always think I'm very intimidating, like in person.
Oh,
So
yeah.
no one really like approaches me ever, and I don't get a lot of DMs because everyone's like scared of me, truly. Which honestly is kind of amazing. I really don't get a lot of DMs, but sometimes I will get like the craziest DMs from like unhinged DMs, and I just don't respond.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my
Oh,
go-to is
yeah.
I just don't respond.
yeah, you can't.
So that's kind of it. But no one really comes up to me and is like, hey, like let's go on a date or whatever.
Yeah.
Because I think they're like, I should not talk to this person.
Also, like you're more traditionally masculine.
Yeah, that's
I would
also
imagine.
that.
I don't know what your
Yes.
type is, but like I imagine they're probably more femme. Just
Yeah,
like,
a little bit. Yeah.
statistically. Okay.
Yeah.
Statistically.
Irene's like very mask.
Yeah, but she could be attracted to other masks.
It's true, but they still statistically. I am more femme than Irene, just from my
From your hair length.
hair length,
Yeah.
which is really the only femme thing about me. But I really cling to it. It's important to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that why you keeping? Have you ever had a short?
No, never.
Oh, interesting. And
I
you
would-
never wanted to have
I
a
would
short?
feel dysphoric if I cut it short. I think.
Wow.
I think if I were more
Like
femme.
Amanda Bynes.
What?
What?
Amanda Bynes is like the famous example of someone cis who was dysphoric from being in She's the Man. They had her in that boy's wig and
She felt dysphoric.
yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
She talks about that.
Yeah.
We got to have her on the podcast. Amanda
Also,
Bynes, if you
congrats
are
to her
listening.
to being out of her conservatorship.
Oh, is she out?
Yeah.
That was quick.
Yeah.
That was like the Free Britney thing took forever, and Amanda
Yeah,
like, well, I'm
yeah.
just riding this wave.
Yeah, she doesn't deserve it.
Hopefully a lot of other people do too.
Yeah,
Wow.
please. I don't know like how people get into. I feel like it's got to be mostly famous people or weird wealth
I
situations.
don't know. Well, I do think money is almost always
Yeah, because
a
I feel like if
factor.
there's no money, like, why would you want to be a conservator for what? Cat food? Like,
My cat food is expensive.
okay.
That is true.
Yeah, it's so fucking expensive. Dude.
It's upsettingly expensive.
Do you have to do anything special for?
No, I just mean the cat food that you buy for your cats
It's
is
insane.
It's so expensive.
It's the most expensive thing on the planet. Because I have a cat with allergies, so I have to feed him specific food, or he's like coughing and throwing up all the
Oh.
time. Like he would
Yeah.
die if I
Poor
didn't.
baby.
This is not like because I'm being a little. I would love to feed them garbage. Like I would fully feed them garbage, but yeah.
I would love to let them free and catch pigeons. And
Yeah, right, exactly. And Fulton probably would. Fletcher would be too neurotic. This is so stupid. Okay. Yeah, a type is more femme. Interesting.
Yeah, a little bit. And I don't really generally I'm not really into like super high femme like girls. But like kind of,
Yeah.
like the no makeup femme. Like you have to have long hair. And you can wear makeup if you wanna, but you also don't have to,
yeah.
But you have to have longer hair than me. That's it.
That's the requirement.
That's the requirement.
What about an Amanda Bynes situation? You meet a very talented young actress.
I mean, she could have short hair, but I mean, traditionally, I have been more attracted to people
Right,
who have
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
longer hair.
Oh.
Although you can have short hair and be more femme than me.
So
Obviously.
this is what I was going to say. I feel like if I were actually more femme in who I was as a person,
Oh, then you could do the short
then
hair.
I feel like I could cut my hair and not feel dysphoric.
Yeah.
But because I'm already so masculine in so many ways, I feel like if I lost my hair, I would have very little femininity left to cling to, which I do enjoy now and then.
Oh, okay.
You know, Chelsea had like a short, like pretty much my haircut right now when we met. Isn't that funny?
What does she have now?
She has like a little pixie right now, but she's had once she grew that out, she's had like long hair.
A pixie cut?
What?
Or like a bob?
Oh, a bob. What's
Okay.
this? What's a pixie?
That's a bob.
Pixie's like-
short.
Short.
Oh no, she has a bob.
I was like, that's a big change.
Yeah.
She has a bob.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're the man.
Yeah. Sometimes I like try to convince her to do it again because it was like such a little sexy haircut, but she doesn't want to.
I also think for work.
Well, she works where she works. You're allowed to do anything because that's their like whole thing.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
So when we first started going out, and I asked her to come to my soccer team's like prom or whatever. It's not a prom, it's a ball, and I wore a dress and she wore a suit. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
Wow.
so funny.
Yeah.
Wait, I have one more question for Irene.
Yes.
Do you feel like when you fall in love again, you're gonna explode? Like, do you feel like it, like you go so long between that when you meet someone, you're like, I like some sort of emotional blue balls situation.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Well, I've resigned myself to thinking I might just die alone. So I don't know. I've never thought about it like that.
You seem so calm about it.
Yeah, because I'm very comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
Like I'm good, like being like some people can't.
I'm laughing.
Some people
'cause
can't be alone, and I'm like fine, you know.
I'm thinking about
The solar flare?
well, kind of. I'm thinking about your joke that's like, oh, at the end of the world, like we're gonna have to eat babies.
Great joke,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way.
Oh,
I
thank
fucking
you.
love
loved
it. Love
Thank
it.
you.
Such a dark joke.
Yeah,
but
really
plays
great.
in so funny with the like, yeah, I'm pretty resigned to dying alone, but first I'm gonna eat a couple babies. I just love that bit so much.
It's a great bit.
I love it.
Thank
You like double down on it, then you triple down on it, you quadruple down on it, you quintuple down on it, and by the end, the audience is just like, yeah.
Yeah. Or they're like, oh no.
Well, I saw it succeed and I enjoyed.
Thank you.
Do you think that in a relationship you are pretty independent anyway?
Yeah, I think in my previous relationships I was too independent, or I wasn't like invested enough in the relationship because of comedy, where I'm like, I gotta do all
Yeah.
this to
Yeah.
like succeed.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you gotta like get everything when you're young. And then now, like looking back on, I'm like, oh, I could have chilled out,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
would have been better.
Yeah.
So now I still would like to be independent, like if I'm in a relationship again, but also maybe you know, partake in that more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I value independence in a relationship so much. Because I'm such a psycho about comedy. Like, I will jump at any opportunity, and it's important that the person doesn't feel like I'm abandoning them.
100%. I would love, ideally, if I had a person that they were like on board for like my comedy thing, you know, like
Yeah, of course.
they were working for me, basically with me, like that.
That
like that, like that level of.
To me, that's like the end of the patriarchy, because you almost never see that with a woman.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You always see the wife
Oh,
manager.
yeah.
You always see that. You never see it the other way. Yeah.
But it would have to be me with a man in that case, where it'd be the
Yeah, you're
end
right.
of the patriarchy.
That's true. That's true.
Because in this case, it's still the wife being the manager.
Yeah, you're right.
I thought I solved it.
Well, I am pretty masked, so I mean.
But that would make it almost worse.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. That does make it worse. So that was back to the original patriarchy.
Yeah. You're like choosing to participate in the patriarchy, but almost more by choice than someone who is ignorant of these things.
Right.
You're like,
I just need someone to help me out. All right.
no, I
Yeah.
see the value in it. Before, I never have really even thought about that because I've never had that dating situation. But like working as a team on a project, I totally see the value in it now. But only if the person's like super passionate about it. 'Cause
Yeah,
you
that's what I'm
wouldn't
saying. I
want-
would want like my wife or whoever to like my comedy enough, but not be like an uber fan.
No, of course.
Yeah, I think male comics love like when there's just like female fans are like, you're so funny and like whatever. I'm like, please, like think I'm like a little bit funny, but don't like be obsessed with my jokes. Like that's weird.
I can just see the person from Guam being like, I heard you on this podcast. I thought you were okay.
And I'm like, what's your number? We're going on a Zoom date right now.
I thought you were okay, but I would like to work for you.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, will you marry me?
Well, this was fun.
I think you're okay, but with a lot of help.
Yeah,
Make
yeah.
you a star.
Then actually you get into it's not the patriarchy anymore. If she's like coaching you on your whole career, she's like your manager,
Yeah.
you're her protege.
Mm.
Well, thank you, Irene. We're gonna go to Kate. Kate, did you have gay sex this week?
I had a wet dream last night.
Applause.
Isn't that weird?
You came in your sleep?
I think so.
It's interesting because it's hard to tell sometimes if you've come in your sleep as a woman
Yeah.
or a person with a vulva.
Yeah. What was that?
I'm congratulating myself.
here's what happened.
I'm gonna get canceled. There's no question.
I go home very.
Could only help our careers if we get canceled. Apparently, as we've seen from precedent.
Right, for sure. But do you think the super like anti-woke right will come to our aid when we are canceled? Could we pull that off at 180?
That would be impressive.
They've come to the aid of a lot of people you wouldn't expect.
Yeah, I guess as long as you align with them, you're like,
Like how they're like kind of female sports fans now all of a sudden.
are they really?
Well, yeah, because they don't want trans women to compete. So then they're like hardcore about like, this is not what ladies badminton is all about.
Ladies like, that's weirdly woke and not woke at the same time.
Ladies badminton is about huge, real knockers bouncing around and getting the shuttlecock stuck between them. That's what ladies badminton is about.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Here's what happened. I got home really late and I was like really exhausted and I fell asleep. And then like in my sleep, I was like having a sex dream and I like kind of woke up and my body was aflame with desire. And
wow,
but I was still so tired. No, I didn't write.
My body was aflame with desire.
I was still so fucking tired that I was like, oh, like I want to have sex with Chelsea really bad, but so my willpower, I'm trying to wake myself up so hardcore to be able to like wake up and have sex with her. I have no idea what time it is. Like I'm zonked out in this dream, but I'm awake and
this
I'm
is
like
the weirdest form of queer longing ever.
And in my mind, I fully woke up and like asked Chelsea to have sex with me, and she said no, and I went back to bed. She told me what actually happened was I, in like a stupor of being half awake, go, I want your body so bad, and then literally closed my eyes and started snoring. Like it was not a very good appeal. She didn't even have a chance to say no before I was back asleep again. Like I was asleep and my body was so horny that my brain was like, wake up, wake up, wake up, and I like barely woke up and be like, oh, you have sex with me. Like a zombie. And so it obviously didn't happen. But then when I fell back asleep, I dreamt that she had said yes and that we were having sex. And then I'm pretty sure that I had a wet dream.
Wow.
What? I'm crazy.
I think I've only ever had one, maybe two.
This is not a common occurrence.
No.
I don't know what the
Listener,
magic
write in.
was.
How many wet dreams have you had to completion? To completion.
Do not write to me about this.
Do not write to Kate or Irene about this.
I can't relate to this. This never happened to me.
But please write to me about it.
It was wild, and then couldn't really confirm or deny because I'm on my period and I was wearing the period underwear. So if there was anything, it got sucked up into that very
like a brand of period underwear.
Yes, yeah.
Look at you. That's good.
What? Why?
I should get period underwear.
Why?
Should be better for the environment.
Oh, I don't do them during the day. I don't like them.
Why?
But I use them. This was the beginning of me saying they're stinky. I think that's so too gross to say, but now I feel like I'm gonna follow through.
Probably a fair criticism.
I really don't like them. I use
Probably
them
depends on your flow and everything else.
I use them as I tried raw dogging them at night, and it was a disaster.
I feel like they had a moment and now they're not as popular anymore.
I don't know. I think there's multiple companies, and so you don't know which one is good. Anyway, so I use them as
a high risk purchase, like
it's high risk
to try out.
But they're all pretty much all of them are money back guarantee.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
You mail them back used underwear.
Okay. So this is my, not to blow up any company's spot on this. This is my fucking theory. So they blew out the first time. They didn't work at all. And I was like, this sucks. I want my money back. And so I go on with Chelsea and we go onto the website and I'm like, I demand my money back.
I love that Chelsea's helping you care in this situation.
We both ordered some. Hers were fine.
Oh, partner.
And mine was not good. But so it was on her account.
Well, she has a different period than you.
Yeah. It's probably not that the underwear is different. It's just your flow.
I got a defective pair. I know that my wife's pair worked perfectly.
No, they weren't right for me. Yeah, that's all. So I go on, say, I want my money back guarantee. And they say, why? And I say, it didn't work. And they're like, okay. And they're like, here's your money back. Obviously, you can't return them. So just hold on to them. And I looked at Chelsea and I was like, so they're free. And she was like, what? And I was like, anyone who wants to buy these, just buy them, say they don't work, and then they're free. And she was like, Kate, shut the fuck up. And I'm like, I might buy 100 pairs.
Oh my God.
Say that they don't work.
Do you know the amount of
And then
logistics?
they're free.
You're gonna have to buy PO box after
Okay,
PO box
so I'm
to have your period
that's true.
underwear.
I started running a business plan on how to scam the period underwear people, mostly fueled by the anger that my sheets were covered in blood. And I'm like going through this whole thing. I'm like, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. And Chelsea goes, Kate, you're like gay Kramer right now. Like, what? You were just trying to scam your way.
This is your recycling in Michigan.
Yes.
You're trying to get the truck to
exactly.
Michigan. Do you know that episode?
And I definitely do need Newman involved. Like,
Yeah, you
it's like-
need Newman. I'll be your Newman.
Thank you. But so
We're like a
Anyway.
reverse Kramer and Newman because you way more fit the type of Newman than I do. And I'm constantly going like this on stage. It's my little Kramer move.
anyway, so yeah, that's that.
My move when I get really horny in the middle of the night is just a good old spoon. And that's all I can manage. I can't get myself out of the sleep, but I'll do a butt grab.
Yeah. Wet dream
I
is
thought
weird
you
to
meant
me.
like an actual spoon. And I was like,
Scoop it.
does that work?
This is how long it's been since someone's been in
I
your
know.
bed.
I was like, I'm imagining you just masturbating with a spoon, and I'm like, I guess.
scoop side against me.
Yeah,
or
that's what I was trying to figure out. I was like,
inside.
I was thinking the bottom curvy part would be on top.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Oh,
I get it.
yeah.
But then I'm like, isn't it cold? Like I was having this whole conversation in my head.
I'm like,
better if it's cold. Ashley like puts her spoons in the freezer. For
Yeah.
her
Oh God.
night comes.
Oh no.
turn me off real quick.
Don't you think a wet dream is weird? It's like God is jacking you off. I feel like. Like what is that? What
It
is
could be a
it?
bit.
It's God's way of jacking
Of
you
being
off.
like, hang in there, bud.
Yeah.
Blast off.
Why
I want
is
you to
he-
try that on stage.
I was about to ask,
I should.
why does he more
I'll try
often
it.
jack off men? And then I immediately understood
Because of all
that
the other
it's-
stuff.
I'm sorry.
What?
What?
Because of all the other stuff. There's all the sexism and
Right.
God
Because
hating
he's
women
a
and-
sexist and homophobic. And of course, he's only jacking off men. Duh. And that's how you know you're a man.
So that's I told Chelsea in the morning, and she goes, "Yeah, you're a fucking man." I was like, "Yeah, fair enough.
Well, that was a beautiful story.
Thank you."
Do you mind reminding people where they can find your stuff for butt plugs? These are our butt plugs.
For butt plugs.
These are our butt plugs.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know what that means, but you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Irene_2. That's TU, TikTok, Irene Tu Comedy. Or go to my website for live show dates and to buy my album or sign up for my mailing list, etc. It's Irene2.com.
You should go buy it. Support queer art. Okay.
Please. Yeah, because all the white boys buy all the white boys albums.
It's so fucking true.
And we're always like, oh, but we're poor. I'm like, you have $10. Buy my album.
You do. You have $10.
It's
Also,
bullshit.
You can get the album on vinyl. That's pretty cool.
Yes, we also made a vinyl, which is very queer, limited run of vinyl that you can buy. Just go to my website, has all the info, and I designed it. Well,
That's
my
so
label also designed it.
cool.
We designed it together.
That's
I
cool.
had notes. They sent me a design, and then I made notes because I am like particular. But I really like how it turned out. So buy the vinyl.
So cool.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I'm gonna buy it. I don't even have a record player. I'm just gonna hang it up as art.
Amen.
You should.
Yeah.
It's yours. And yes, please support the queer
Please.
artists, you pieces of shit. It's crazy.
It's truly
crazy how fast some of these like all like YouTube-y white guys.
It's
They're-
just
they're
because they love
they're
to support each
mafia.
other
They
with money,
do.
and we don't.
Yeah.
We're like, we verbally will support queer people, and then money wise, they're like, oh, I mean, I gotta buy a matcha with this money.
I truly am trying to understand how they are so good at like jazzing up. I truly think because it feels almost political for those guys to be like, yeah, man, like, yeah, anti-PC, like stick it to the,
Yeah.
and like, I'm going to support you. We
Yeah.
need to galvanize that on the queer side for sure.
But you know why? It's because we hate capitalism.
Yeah, I think that's part of it. But still, you
Queer
should want
people
to
are like-
listen to the.
But you're
Yes.
not part
Art.
of the problem.
No, I know. But I'm just saying, I feel like queer people, like, we don't even want money to be a thing.
Yeah.
So we're not going to spend it on anything.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and the white guys are like, we just want to get rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's some money.
And
don't
I
know.
also think there's like such a hustle culture that people are like,
yeah.
I want you to get your like Gucci bag and you know, like all of that.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like we get the short end of the stick sometimes.
Yeah.
So huge props on your podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Honestly, I was gonna say this for a different episode, but we do have trouble. Like I've been inquiring why we have so many fewer ads than podcasts that are even smaller than us have, and I did find out it's because of the name. That companies are rejecting that they put ads on this podcast. I'll say it in the middle of an episode because everyone's already turned this off at this point, but that's why please support the Patreon, because I've been wondering how we can get our ad revenue up, and the answer is by being straight. And unfortunately, I can't commit to that right
What
now.
if we changed it to 2 lesbians fucking? Got some different kinds of ads, maybe.
I mean, you might be able to get the period underwear people sponsor you if you cut out what Kate said.
But anyway,
They were perfect. I made as big a mess as I wanted to.
and I would
didn't
never.
ask for money back guarantee.
And I definitely did not get 17 PO boxes. And I have not started selling them on Craigslist. Thanks for listening, guys. One more shout out for the Patreon and my tour dates. AshleyGavin.com, patreon.com/WHGS. You know it by now, you little bottom. And my gay thought today, these are getting existential. Dread. I have dread. Do you guys have dread with the social climate and climate change, the internet? What's your gay way to deal with dread? Do you doom scroll? Do you knit? Just keep adopting cats? I have dread and I don't know what to. I've never had this level of dread. How are you? Are you guys okay? Are the gays okay? Write in. Are we? I don't feel okay. All right, that's your dread. I hope you get some hope for the week, you bottom. I hope you get hope.